All right, so I would be oh on the cam and everything. I would be, but there's no point to it. So if you're living under a rock, I don't know what to tell you, but it's gonna be a good one. Hold on, let me share the video. Um, Supposed to share it. I don't know if I am gonna do it, but I probably should. You know, so I grew up in a time where there was a lot of women and husbands. You know what I'm saying? Son, husband, where as to a woman would profess that my son is my king. He's my prince, my little man. And if you was a man in that time, there was no competing with that. There was no competing with a woman that told you that. It was, Jay, we can have this conversation. All you have to say is the words. Because this is not abnormal. This is not. This is not abnormal. That's why you think them young dudes like Blueface, they choose women like that. They emulate after their mother. Why you like Krishan ain't gonna never be that woman. That's his mom. His mama is his woman. His mama is his woman. That's why you never hear her man ever check her like, whoa, hold on. What's going on? You never see his mama get at her. I mean, does she even have a man? I mean, if she did, I can't tell him. I mean, honestly, her man is her goddamn husband or son or whatever kind of thing. And that's not abnormal because we done seen a lot of these dudes like that. It's almost become a normal ritual practice. It's almost become a normal ritual practice. You done seen it with goddamn Jim Jones. You done seen it with Kodak Black. You done seen it with who else has a husband relationship? There's quite a few black men that have husband relationship. I know y'all gonna say, well, other men have no, listen, we're talking about in house now. We're talking about in house. A lot of these type of women raise their sons to be the perfect man. And a lot of these men, no matter how many women that they procreate with, lay with, sleep with, they'll never be on par. Uh-oh. They'll never be on par. Exactly. Emotional incest. Woo. I've done witnessed these behaviors. Dudes being told by their mama, listen, get her out of here. But mama, no. You do what I say. I love you forever. I'm gonna be here forever. Not her. And like a lot of these black men, them and their mama have some type of entanglement. They can't see themselves without their mama. That's why I don't know why people were surprised with Blueface Mama talking about his penis. Why was anybody shocked? We've been seeing this all throughout the 90s. We've been seeing this all throughout the 90s. I mean, the 80s, it was revving up. But in the 90s, oh yeah, that was a thing. You had mamas living through their sons. Sons were the husbands of their mama. So no man wanted to move in a house where he got to deal with the son husband. These are my boys. Your boys. Are they your son or they your men? So these boys started growing an affinity relationship with their mama. And these women ain't never try to check it. Why would these women check it? That's her lover. That's the one man that can never do her wrong. Through thick or thin, we're gonna be together, mama. It was like some ancestral love triangle relationship. Cause Sean trying to call him daddy, but he's like, I ain't trying to be daddy. I'm trying to listen. I got me a mama. And that man ain't gonna never say anything. That man that's married to Blueface's mama or with Blueface's mama, he ain't gonna never say nothing. He's never gonna say nothing. This is normal in a lot of upbringing households. That's why I'm trying. Y'all said, BFT, I don't know about all that. Yes, it is. Stop it. But we can call out a lot of relationships. A lot. Hell, they were making fun of it on 90 sitcom shows. They're making fun of it. A Different World. They're making fun of it on Jamie Foxx. That's what I say. Why y'all acting like this shit is new? Like people trying to make it sound like, oh man, like, nah, man, like this. No, man, this Ben was already a thing. This is already going down. Exactly. I wasn't shocked as I was grossed out. The girlfriend's got to compete with the mama. Yup. They got to. The girlfriend got to compete with the mama. The fiance got to compete with the mama. The baby mama got to compete with the mama. Hell, the baby. Hell, they'll say, man, give my baby to my mama. That's why I'm saying you can't get mad at this. Kodak Black grabbing his mama's booty and stuff. Y'all, people acting all strange. See, in the outside world, people acting strange. What the hell is going on? I know y'all gonna say, well, the hillbillies, they know, we know. But see, we don't want to talk about this husband relationship that's been going on for far too long. I know y'all want to make mama proud of y'all. I know a lot of y'all go hard on women because these women will never amount to mama. They'll never be on par with mama. Hell, mama is a queen. Even though she doggone hold your ass, you ain't shit, nigga. Even though she be on there. All right, hell, goddamn, what you mean, Scrap? You remember Scrappy and Baby and Mama D? Whatever the other girl named Princess Pork Chop, whatever, goddamn, woof woof. This is not uncommon for black folks. We know y'all love y'all mama. We know y'all black boys will die for mama. Mama is God. That's why I don't got no smoke when they said the black woman is God. I say, well, shit, they talking about their mama. They talking about her. Once a man start doing that, having that fact. Now I want y'all to understand now. Calm down now. I know y'all gonna be in my comments. Look at BFT hating. No, because even these women understand that. Goddamn, how am I supposed to compete with that bitch? That's why black women have an in-house fighting going on. That's why they always say, "I'm gonna send you back to your mama." There's a reason why. Ain't that what the women say? "I'm gonna send you back to your mama." Mama! Because they know. Ain't no cold shit. That's mama shit. Mama ain't gonna never leave me. This this I remember my mama in them happy ways. She's covered. So you gotta understand that this is a normal dichotomy. Now y'all gotta doggone take that into account. Like I said, I grew up in the '90s. Listen, bro, it's like when you're trying to talk to a woman and then you heard that on in and doggone, hey, that's my mama. That's why I said when everybody was like freaking out on Baby Boy, "Mama, you gonna let this man come in our home, eat our food, play my Super Nintendo?" Y'all were laughing. That was real. That was real. That was a real thing. Why would any man want to move in when goddamn Blueface and his mama got a whole entanglement? I don't know what you say about a man talking about his with him and his mama. Mama used to walking around the house butt naked and shit. The boy had to see his mama titties hanging out, boom boom, all that shit, dancing. I'm a bad bitch. I'm a savage. Playing I don't want no scrub and shit. Yeah, I grew up. I watch all that shit. Thank God my mama was into gospel. Shit. I said, what's really going on? But that's the time that a lot of these black folks were living in. So when y'all talk about this thing with Blueface, I didn't hear no outcry for, well, why isn't Jim Jones gonna marry Chrissy? Why don't Kodak Black ever get serious? Why don't NBA YoungBoy? Listen, they all have a mama and son relationship. Their mamas didn't teach them to go get no woman. Their mama said, "I'm the only goddamn woman in your life, nigga." The fuck? The fuck you bring that damn bitch around my house? Only thing she could do is make kids. I can't make you some kids for me. And you ain't gonna never beat that. You ain't gonna never be, like I said, y'all think y'all gonna beat this type of behavior. That's why I said, that's why a lot of women they don't want to touch this type of conversation. I mean, it goes dark. I'm willing to have it respectfully. But see, I understand this. That would mean we have to start bringing to the forefront all these son and husband and mama relationships. We got to bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. That's why it don't catch me off guard. It don't. I'm not gonna lie. That could have been me at some point. Not on no sexual shit, but every time my mama got into it with a man, she started telling me stuff. It started telling me about how men do this, men do that. I said, "Mom, well, what you do?" "Son, the Lord gonna send me a man." They always got it with the Lord gonna send me some ram in the bush. Nigga, you are that ram in the bush. somehow Jesus and your mama got some kind of internet connection where they on date hotline. Y'all ever heard that? Where these women say, "Who's your man?" Jesus. They always say Jesus is their man. Jesus on the main line. Tell them what you want. I used to always hear that shit when I was in when I was in doggone church. So this is why you hearing all these men talking about going abroad, finding these foreign mamas to take care of them. Mama's getting too old, and sadly, a lot of these women they're not gonna baby you. You got to wonder, his woman calling him daddy. Krishan, rough, tough, built Tonka tough. You can't make this shit up. Ain't nothing ever going to change. Hang on, let me. There we go. But this is something of an ongoing thing that you see going on. Hang on to. It's not going to holistically stop because to some people, I get it. Mom was all you had. Mom was all you had. But this type of adultery, ancestral, like parasitic attachment, starting to get too much. It's starting to get too much. You see, the reason why, like, ain't no Blueface ain't gonna ever check his mama. He may kick her out, but that's normal. She kicked him out. He still love her. She kicked him out. Like I don't know what will go on through any woman's mind enough to talk about her son penis. I don't know. Yes. Hello. How you doing?
You know,
Queen of Starbucks.
You know it's
Queen.
past my bedtime.
Yes, ma'am.
But, I don't know. Like I was gonna say, is it? Do you blame single motherhood? I hate to say that, but do you blame single motherhood to an extent?
There you go.
Oh, did you hear what I said?
No, I missed it.
I said I hate to bring this up, but to an extent, do you blame single motherhood?
For which one? For which one? It's like a double-edged sword now. It's a double-edged sword.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm treading lightly with that because
Listen. I know me. You can have a fair, balanced conversation because I noticed the era I said 90s era, in the 90s era.
Oh no, you're 90s and even now. I think even more so now. And I mean, I definitely think you are on point. But I guess the question is why. You know what I mean? Like, why? Why are we? And why has said man not pulled away from their mother yet either?
Because
who's the toxic one, the man or the mother?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, because here's the thing about it. One,
because you can't tell me if you, as a grown ass man, and your mama got on hell anywhere and said, "Oh, I know my son got a big dick," you gonna be sitting there like,
I would be calling, interrupting that live ASAP. Like, stop it. This live needs to stop. Actually, our conversations might need to stop. It's time to go find you. But see, here's the thing about it, Jay. Let's keep the irony of the fact. One, these type of men, they look for these type of women that
Oh yeah,
emulate that.
absolutely. There's a reason that them two crazy motherfuckers are still together.
Mm,
And you
mm.
know, they're both toxic. They are both highly toxic to each other. Because that's the thing. Most women ain't gonna put up with that shit. Let's just be real. Most women ain't gonna put up with a mama's boy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. A known mama's boy, most women ain't gonna put up with that.
But see, but now you
But then
got
wait, I'm gonna throw something else into the mix. You
okay.
have
Go ahead.
something like Blueface and his mama, but then you have Black China and her mother. Her mother
Uh
hates
oh.
her. So
But see,
why are these quote unquote single mothers hate their daughters and love their sons?
because here's the thing about it: Black China's mama is competing to be Black China. Actually, she's like, I'm the original China.
True.
That's honestly it. When you hear her talk about her good old days, I said, damn, you would think that you were there when the internet started or some shit, or when Yahoo, like, let me know what's good, baby. Like, it's no secret. A lot of mothers have kicked their daughters out.
Right, and their
Like,
son would be sitting on their couch playing video games all day.
so listen, y'all. Listen, we keeping a beam. This is the thing about it. Why a lot you got it where one, Krishan, her crazy ass, like literally, the only reason why that show is going, only reason why Blueface is relevant, but it ain't his music.
Oh God, don't he
It's
only have like one song?
that's all he
Like
that's all.
like 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Listen, that's it. And he like the thing about it that keeps it going is he's entertaining. He's entertaining,
Yeah,
and that's and so when we hear,
but that's what I said. When I say a good one, I mean like a woman that's worth her. That's. Do you think he would be able to date somebody like Beyonce? Come on.
no, no. But now here's the thing about it. Now I'm gonna show. Now hold on. I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna show you this. Okay, we have the Jim Joneses. Uh,
But
the,
then I want to ask, why is that woman still with him? Why is Chrissy still dealing with him after all these years?
because Chrissy has numbed herself. See, you gotta think Chrissy has grown up in an environment where that's normal. That's normal seeing
To
men like that.
who? That's like I said at the beginning of this conversation. To
Uh,
whose?
to a
Whose?
lot of black no to a lot of black women
Yes.
that are Chrissy's age, they watched and grew up seeing women favor their sons over their daughters. And so Chrissy was always competing for that of Jim's love with his mama. Chrissy was always competing. Hell, she was goofy as hell. Always always. Well, I got to do the curtains. Well, his mom come in. Well, I don't do no curtain like that. Like, bitch, you don't got no curtains. Like, Jim just bought you a goddamn house. Like, you just got curtains. Like, stop that. Like,
Yeah.
you got to think. Like, look at the period of the age of these women. Chrissy, she done got dragged, done got humiliated.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Chrissy is about my. Isn't she like in her 40s?
Yeah,
Like
that's what
if
I'm
I'm
saying. Like, it's
44,
not like we're
like
not
I
pulling off on this.
just. So you
You
think
got Chrissy,
there's no way I would have been chasing after a man. So if I'm 44,
but a lot of
like
women
ain't no
have
way I'm gonna
done
be
that.
chasing after the same man for
But
20 something years.
okay, to be fair, this is why women in the 90s, in the early thousands, this is why a lot of them are single because the ideal woman said, "Listen, I got
But
me a
wait,
son.
but these are
What I need."
but these are mothers that are my age though.
But see, they got
Because
churned. They got
a lot of them had been. Remember, I told you a lot of people that I graduated with got like 20-year-olds and up. Like there's people I graduated in '96.
Mhm.
I have people who have grandkids whose kids are like, and I mean that I don't mean like teenage pregnancy type grandkids. I mean like their kids are in their 20s, like 24,
but
25,
but you
26.
got to think. You got to think. Their baby fathers are just now getting out of incarceration
That's
now.
true.
Their baby fathers are just now getting out.
Overall media said generational curses. Yeah, yeah, I guess it's. But what point does it stop? I guess is the question.
Because see, the thing about it that, and overall, let me know if you want in on this. Like, y'all got to think, man. Like these songs. Like, listen, man. There was a lot of enduring songs telling, for the women saying, hey, like, as long as you got your child, and as long as you got your, what I'm saying, like, it wasn't songs about, logic. It was goddamn a lot of time.
Right.
Like,
Well,
don't
yeah,
even,
as long as you have your child. But I mean, I'm
you
not
good.
out here talking
But
about he got a big
so
dick. Like,
but hold on now. Here's the uncomfortable thing about it. And this is where the dark side of it come in. You know how many women I was courting or messing with that their sons would be sleeping in bed with them and shit.
oh
Like
yeah.
damn, yeah. I was like, well, goddamn, that boy is 8, 9 years old. Why he still be? He can sleep in my bed. Why? Why? Why?
Right.
Now y'all saying that's unusual, BFT? No. Listen. I mean, for somebody
I
who
mean,
doesn't
unless
have,
it was like some traumatic type thing. Like I know my daughter,
but see, that's the thing about it.
right,
Like,
like she finally got out of our bed when she was like 3 or 4. And then my mom had passed. So I think she slept in our bed probably for like a good 6 months after that. But again, that's a different situation, you
but
know.
see, here's the thing about
But
it.
by the time
When
she was like 7, she didn't come on now. She
I
didn't
will
be
say
nowhere
this,
near us.
I will say this, and I look at it like this, like one, a lot of those women had no problem telling their sons to put their paws on a woman. That was
Yeah.
one. That was one thing. That was one thing. That
But
was a
then on the other
very
spectrum, so as we've talked about many times, I was in an abusive relationship. He had the
yes.
opposite problem. His mother was abusive to him.
Mm. So his mom abused him.
Mm-hmm.
So a woman like Krishan was perfect for him. A woman like a woman like Krishan. I mean, honestly, listen, like if you used to women dragging the shit out of you and talking to you like you a damn dog, Krishan should be perfect for you. Why would you want to leave?
And then,
Why
but
would you want to
again,
leave
it
it?
goes back to emotional. I think. Hold on. I sat up here. Was that like a month ago where a dude yelled at me, and I asked him if he's ever considered therapy. A lot of black men need therapy, and they don't get it. Maybe because their mom is therapy. I don't know, but they need a professional.
But see, here's the thing about it. I will say this, Jay. I saw that clip of Scrappy having a mental breakdown on the show. That shit was a fake. That shit was real. Talking about his mama and on now all the other women were crying. His fiance. She like, what the fuck? Like Scrappy. Like we might need to get you
But
help.
that's what I'm
That
saying, right? Because and it's but then we've talked about that too. Like how of us is, and that's probably a whole other conversation for another day. But how is us as a woman, if you're not telling me what's wrong, how am I supposed to know that that's been bothering you? If you're not talking, you're not willing to talk about it, and then all of a sudden you go on national TV and have a breakdown, and I'm sitting there looking at you like, what the fuck? What?
because first of all, black people aren't told about therapy. According, the only therapy you need is
It's
Jesus.
Jesus.
It's just Jesus. I
You need to
mean, no,
go to
I'm
church.
not.
You need to go to
You need
church.
you need to go to church. You need to go to
Right. You're
church.
right.
Like
You're right.
and so anything other than that is heresy.
So I want you to know that I told my other half about the topic of this show, and he looked at me and told me to get out the room. He was like, "What?" He was like, "His mama said what?" And he was just like, "Get out."
But see, the thing about no, and shout out to him for letting me borrow you.
Yeah, but he
But
was just
that.
like, "Get out," because he was just like, "That's like the most ridiculous asinine shit." Like,
But see,
you
that's
know,
not. But see, the thing about it is those kind of things have happened
oh yeah.
more than they should. And the thing about it is, at some point, y'all wondering why the men are now
I mean,
portraying.
I mean, his mother is no longer with us, but he wasn't like that when she was. You know what I mean? Like he was able to leave the nest, so to speak. You know what I mean? And I think that's the difference. I mean, and even other people that I've dealt with, like I haven't seen this before, like in my own personal life, is what I'm saying.
Right.
I heard it's a thing, but I haven't seen it with my own eyes. I guess is what I'm saying. But you know what? You are right. I have seen women that, oh, like you said, my son is my king. And it starts young. And that's what it is. It starts, like you said, when they 6, 7, 8 years. You're talking about my king, my man. I don't need no man. I just got my son. My son is so sexy. Why are you calling your son sexy?
Listen, I thought it was normal. I thought it was normal. After a while, I thought it was normal because I was like, well, shit. Well, I said, Mama, why don't you? I even asked my mom once. I said, Mom, why don't you ever call me sexy? Boy, shut your ass up. I was like, well, all the other guys getting praise and shit from that mama. You know
Not
what
like
I'm saying?
that. Like your mama's supposed to call you handsome.
But
Something
but
good
no,
that you
but
carry.
me growing up, with the interpretation, you know what I'm saying? Because, again,
Or hold on, the black people compliment, the opposite. Like when you like, oh, look at your ugly ass. When you really,
oh yeah, listen. I don't understand that trauma bonding
okay,
of.
that's. But I guess that's me. Look at your
Listen,
stinking ass. Okay,
like I think that, listen, man, we have a lot of
what we do.
dark force trauma. I don't think we can that it ain't reparations can't fix that shit. You know,
Like I said, there are a lot of us. A lot of us need
I
therapy.
would,
Like
I
seriously,
would
a lot of us need therapy. I mean, and I think a lot. You know what though? Oh, I just thought of something. A lot. That's why a lot of these dudes want their women to be submissive
well see the thing about it, I told you
because
it's a
their mom did everything for them, and their
yeah,
mom
yeah,
didn't
I
let them.
agree with
Their mama was still washing their drawers when they was 20. So now they want a woman to do all. They want a woman based. They want another mother. They want a woman to replace their mother. There it goes. We
you.
figured it out. It's you see the pipeline there.
I do see the pipeline, and that's the thing about it. Why it's an impossible metric system to compete against because you'll
Overall
never
media said you can send him the link. He said he
okay
works top of
because
it.
you'll never be able to outcompete that of mama. I've never met especially with men from this type of threshold
I bet you if
or
you really dig deep, and I bet you a lot of them have mothers like that. I guarantee you. I haven't been wrong yet. Maybe once, but I have not been wrong yet. I guarantee a lot of them have mothers like that. Because think
well
about it. How many
see
times have they got up here and been like, "Oh, well, my mom worked 2 jobs, and then she worked 3 jobs and came home and cooked dinner and cleaned the house, and she slept 2 hours a night, and then got up, got us dressed, and made sure we had everything." Okay, it sounds like your mother was a
that just
victim.
sounds like a horrible existence.
Right. That sounds like your
That
mother was
sounds
a
like a
victim. That's
horrible
what that
existence.
sounds like.
That
But
sounds
how
like a
many times have
horrible
we heard
existence.
that? So, oh, my mama did this, this, and this, and my woman should be able to, be 9 months pregnant and working in the fields. Wait a damn minute.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, bruh, like, listen, like these things right here, they're heavily praised and talked about. Like they're like the good old, like they're amazing, triumphant things. Like, listen, man, like you latch, like I tell
You
you right
can't
now,
tell me
lat.
that's something. You know what? My mother worked 2 jobs up until she passed. I don't brag on that. You know what I'm saying? She did it kind of. She did it so not because she necessarily had to. She did it so she could have the extras, if that makes sense.
Like,
So I don't brag on that though, because she worked a lot, and in the last couple of years, she was tired and sick.
I don't think
You know
that's
what I'm
not a
saying?
real.
Like that. I don't brag on that. Yeah, my mama worked 2 jobs. I might brag on it in a way like, hey, you know what? They worked 2 jobs to make sure I had what I had, but uh-uh. I don't want to have to do that if I don't have to.
It's one of those. It's one of those types of things. It's one of those types of things. What's going on, Zell?
What's
It's one of
that, BMT?
what's going on, y'all. We're joined here by Overall 99 Media.
Why don't
Um,
I see him on? Oh, there he is.
but
Are you from like New Orleans or something?
I am close. I'm from Mississippi, right on, like not far
Okay,
from the
because the
border.
only other person I know that says Wazam is a dude I know from New Orleans. But go ahead, carry on. I'm sorry.
shout out to Charity. We love you, baby.
I
We
wasn't
love you
talking
too.
about charity, but yeah, I was.
No, no, I'm just saying
Yeah,
shout out to
yeah.
Charity. Um, I think that's one of the things about it. Like this is not new. He's just the latest one to surge up. Like again, I can name countless uh men, husband relationships, boys and men. You got goddamn who else you have?
Mama, you let the man talk. What was you gonna say, sir?
Go ahead. What's going on, man?
What's on this topic, BMT? Now I've been on the generational trauma and all the generational curses that pass down from parents to beyond, and a lot of it you see in the hood. That's why
Put
you
babies.
hood babies. I like to hood babies. Shout out to, even though technically I am sort of, but even though I'm from the oldest part of the hood where all the old people stay and watch on the port, because I was born way after a lot of them, even though from the same generation. But you start noticing trends of like parents starting to be even in my age group, which is like 31, their parents started to change a little bit. And the hood babies, Krishan is one of them also, and Blueface, and that's why they kind of trauma bond in a weird way, which a lot of hood babies do. They trauma bond, and because we go through a hard life, for instance, we go through random shootings, gangster behavior, gang behavior, other type of behavior, and usually it comes out from some weird trauma. Your mama tried to overly protect you. All of a sudden, you become more of a mama's boy because mama protects you a lot. Even in the case of people who not really like fully hood babies in that way, you still got like a protection from mama because all the men, yeah, all the hood guys, their dads probably from that ilk too. So mom protects them. So all of a sudden, it's protective of mom too. So it's like that connection of I got you, you got me. So it's all you automatically develop that kinship, even though some of it take it a little further. Hopefully, I hope a lot don't, but as we know, it happens. Even when
the
relationships.
question is why? Why do you think that is though? That's the question.
Do you think that's what made the girls, and also, do you think that's what made the girls tougher than the guys?
Yes, you have to. Most time you you look around, and most of the guys stay. Their father, even in my area, let's just go over that. A lot of my cousins' fathers ended up in jail from like violent acts of like fighting or something. Mostly because they didn't know no better. They had no education. They were trying to survive, so they'd be out of the way.
So you said you 31, right?
31.
So those fathers you talking about, those are the people that I was talking about that I went to school with. So you talking about people in their mid to late 40s, right?
Uh-huh.
Yep. So see what I said, or you see how it all is tying together, right? So I came up in the 90s, and yeah, go ahead. I'm just connecting the dots. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you see like an overprotection of the male child from the mom because she thinks that he doesn't have a father figure in the life. Fortunately, I had my father, but a lot of my cousins, you see, they don't. So they go to like automatic behavior of I gotta do it to make. You see it in movies. It is absolutely beloved in black film. If I don't know if y'all noticed that the mother is like the bond and the son will like I will go and sell drugs and kill to take care of my family.
Well, that was the main. That was the main trope. Biggie talked about it in his song. About selling Sega Genesis games to put pants on his sister and different stuff like.
The greatest rapper alive died on March 9th. That's what you mentioned that.
Yeah, we do that. Shout out to BFP too. Well, go ahead. I'm just saying, like now. Right about now, these fathers should be getting out of prison or getting out of.
And that's what we were saying before. A lot of my peers, not necessarily my personal peers that I know personally, but when I say peers, I mean people in my age group. A lot of my peers are just getting out of prison. People in my age group that went to prison in the 90s and early 2000s. So yeah, and those are your said uncles that you're talking about, Mr. Mississippi. So. Like
my uncles are a little older. That'd be my cousins, my first cousin. My uncles are very much older.
Okay. What part of Mississippi are you from?
I'm from the Pine Belt.
Where is that? Like south, like Biloxi, or
it's toward the middle, closer to
Jackson,
Hattiesburg.
Okay. Do you have clean water? I'm like totally not even being funny.
Yes, Hattiesburg is a majority of white place, so that little point is
okay.
Jackson. Why would you ask him something rude like that?
No. You know, because Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson has
Mississippi
and Delta. Jackson and the Delta have bad water.
Is it really that bad?
Yes, that's why I was asking. I wasn't even trying to be an asshole.
Yeah, Jackson. That's the place I always diss a lot. BMT.
I need to go call my dad.
And then, not to mention, there's also in Jackson. You know what? We need to do a show on that because I think they're trying to bring Jim Crow laws back.
I told BMT about that earlier. They took over the court in Jackson. They took over the courts in Jackson, so the black people don't have control of their courts no more. They can't vote any of the judges in, so now it's owned by the governor.
Listen, what are y'all niggas doing in Jackson, bro? Are y'all voting?
Florida was
hey, listen,
are you registered to vote?
Yes, I live in, like I said, I live closer to Hattiesburg, and so
are you voting for Republicans?
I do not. They are insane in this.
Okay. I mean, I live in Florida, so I know.
Oh yeah.
I have
Right,
to.
like
I
listen,
have to say it.
yeah.
Hey, you got one. You got one that said that they out there putting out laws about journalists. If y'all write about me, you got to
Yep.
come through me to write.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
he doing everything except for stopping red tide. But again, that's another conversation. Our beaches are in fucking shambles. There's dead fish on the beach. The air stinks. But we're talking about gay people. But anyway.
Now, so I'm looking at it now, like the state
And
of
just so
how.
wait, before you say that, I just want to know that just came from a place of concern. I wasn't being an asshole. That just came from a
Yeah,
place of concern.
Jay's not an
That's all.
asshole. What she has to be.
oh yeah, I'm not. That's
Okay.
not. I live in closer to the sort of mixed area of Mississippi. People don't know that it's like Jackson is like super, like ultra black. The Delta is like ultra black, and then you got spaces in the middle, which is like kind of black. Rankin County is mostly white. Smith County is kind of mixed, which I'm from, and then you got Jasper County, which is mostly black. And then you got other counties that's a lot mostly white, and it's like mostly white and black. The state is full of just white and black. It's just like 39% black, I think 38. There's like
Well, yeah, because a lot of
52%.
folks stayed after slavery and et cetera, et
Yeah.
cetera. Yeah.
So you see a lot of black, but those areas don't get taken care of well. I came from a PWI school, you would say, at high school, but it was probably a lot more black people than most of your W.
Predominantly white institution for
Yeah,
those of y'all.
yeah, but it had a lot more black people than normal. Even when I was at Southern Miss, it actually for 1 year before they changed a lot of
Every
rules.
time I see Southern Miss, I always just think that's like I always feel like the niggas got to sit in the back of the class every time I see that school.
Oh, no, actually,
I
when I was in school, Gene, it was interesting that for the first time, a PWI in the whole country became majority black when I was in school in
really,
2012, and then they changed a lot
because you
of
see
rules.
football, like like everybody on the football team is black,
Yeah.
but it's like outside of that, it's like, do they have to sit in the back of the class?
Oh no, it's too many. It
I'm sorry.
was my brother went to
I'm
our
sorry.
school and said, "Is this Jackson State?" Because I don't see nothing but black people, and it was full. And then they changed a lot of rules, and it's back predominantly white again.
No.
Now,
Yeah,
now
they're trying to do that in Florida too. So I guess since you grew up in a mixed area, so going back on subject, did you have a lot of white friends?
I had a lot of. I was friends with almost everybody, so
Okay,
I'm
so
a
the
very
reason I'm
unique.
asking is, so do you feel like white? Have you seen this with white people? Basically, is where I was going with that.
No, usually it's rare with white people because if they did do it, it usually be around like trailer parks or they have their little family connection, but they have like more of a family co-op
Yeah,
than even though technically when I was young, black people had a family co-op, but that went away as a lot of older people died,
yeah, yeah.
and then all the families stopped being like close as they were when all the old people, when the old ladies start, my grandma and a bunch of her friends start gossiping. So they knew every child and everything everybody was going on. So they tell you, go get that boy if he acting crazy. Now it's like, oh, he doing it. I don't care. Don't know. They ain't my problem. So now it's like a less of a connection, even if they are single fathers. Single mothers and everything. It's like no like cohesion in the neighborhood anymore. It just they go
Okay.
wild and they
now
get in trouble.
now let me say this. Let me tell you all something that was really interesting. A lot of these mothers would run a interference for their sons and their sexual inaccountability. A
What do you
lot
mean?
of so let's say, and I'm gonna show you, Jay. Let's say girl shows up, hey, I'm pregnant with this baby for your son, overall. And Jay says, no, not my son. My son would never sleep with a
Oh yeah, yeah,
woman
yeah,
like.
yeah.
So guess what? The
Yep,
boy,
you're right.
so the woman tells the boy, listen, don't deal with her, don't mess with her, don't bring that baby around. And the boy, what he gonna do? He gonna listen to his mama. He gonna listen to his mama because his mama says, nah, my son would never deal. Mind
Yeah,
you, the
you're
point.
right. You're right.
See what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say no shit. It's just crazy, Jay. See, that's the thing about it. Where so when you wonder where a lot of these boys say, "Man, f them kids," a lot of these type of women, like these mama D's and stuff like that.
And
Because
and that's where but you know what? It's to see going back to that pipeline. Remember I was saying the submission pipeline?
mhm.
Those same men also think women are using them for money they don't have
but who would use
because
them for their money?
their mother,
Uh oh.
she just she just after you for your money. What? He's 15. He doesn't have any money. You know what I mean? Like you talking about teenage. He's 18 or whatever. He's 16. He's 18. Whatever. He doesn't have any money. And they mamas put that in their head that these girls is out here using you for your money.
Can, can we talk about if we want to go there? We can go a little deep into that problem because even though I know it's no snitching, but let's be honest. A lot of these dudes were most of the people I know. Most of the dudes probably had sex when they was about 13 or 14 or 12 with a woman who was probably 17, 18, 19.
Yeah.
And they get hypersexual. They get hypersexual. And then they always think everybody out to get them because that trust is broken from the older lady.
Issue. That you are right. That is a deeper issue. And a lot of men don't realize that they were sexually assaulted. Like I know men who did lose their virginity from like their babysitter or like you said, an older girl down the street or whatever. And like, but they don't address it as being raped or sexually assaulted.
No,
it's the no snitching. It's a no snitching culture. If you do, you make fun of it because why are you telling? That should be something. The older men will do this. You go. Why are you snitching? Why are you telling? And then you should be honored to do it. And then you did what you're supposed to do. So now he's like, okay, I gotta always go get this thing because I get love for it where I'm from. I always get love because I'm pulling the finest girl. That's why you always see the thing where your uncle tell you, I see you, nephew, at the cookout.
Yeah.
It's like that it's like affirming that you that guy because you got the girl that's cute. Not the girl that you even like. You just want the pretty girl so everybody can give you props. It's like more of a trophy thing, and a lot of dudes in the hood look at women as trophies.
No, I know.
Or to take care of them. So
I'm the girl with the light eyes, so I know.
So it's like, if you want to break that down, you can go.
It's like, you got the one with the green eyes. I see. Like, yeah. Oh, I know.
They put the hand on your shoulder, put the hand on the mouth. I see you, nephew.
Yeah. No. I've seen it with my own eyes, and I'm just like, wow. So yeah.
That's you.
I will I think honestly, when it comes to this of the sexualization market, it's a lot of grooming. It's a lot more incessant for black boys.
So are these mothers telling their black boys to protect themselves at all costs?
No, they don't.
No, don't tattletale. Don't tattletale.
It doesn't become.
Listen, I am telling my daughter will be 16 next month, Joe.
It doesn't become like that until. So when. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this: she will be 16 next month, and I do not think she's active or anything. But I did give her condoms, and I told her I don't give a shit. I don't know, you don't have to tell me if you don't feel comfortable. I said, but listen, always wrap it up. If you don't want to wrap it up, then no. Period.
One thing my mom told me when I was young is that if anybody, I don't care who it is, do anything inappropriate to you that you felt weird about, tell me, and I promise it'll be taken care of.
Yeah, that too. And I always say, if you don't feel comfortable, I said, you can always call me either. But I'm always like, wait, maybe don't call your dad because, But he's like you, Joe, so you already know how that's going to happen. So, but I'm like, I said, we will take care of it. If you ever feel, you have to open up. See, there's lines of communication and then there's lines of communication. Like you said, they doing it on the aspect of their son is never wrong. And like I said, that's why we have the mommy to submission pipeline. That's why these same dudes are in their 20s and 30s wanting a woman to submit instead of wanting a life partner.
Right. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, now it's gotten out of control. It's gotten out of control.
And I would also want to ask if these same dudes live with their mom.
Well, a lot of them actually do. They consider mom residency in their residency one. Actually, some of them still do.
And I don't mean because your mom is older or elderly. So I mean, like, you ain't never leave the nest.
well, that's how they bank on it. Again, that's why the husband relationship is so heavy, because a lot of them are not going nowhere. Like I know, because I got a guy I know that. Granted, he could have took his money. He could have got his own place. But why would he when he got everything he want. Now his
I
mom,
just told my boyfriend's son he's in community college right now, so he's in his second year, so he's looking to transfer to a 4 year. And I told him, I said, you need to live on campus for a year. He was like, well, why? I got everything on my mama house. I said, no, you need to live on campus for at
is a set
least a
experience.
year. But he's looking at it from the mindset, well, my mama gonna cook, and this, he's 19, so I'm not like coming at him that hard. And I was just like, I understand, but you need to live on campus for a year.
Get the
What's
set.
the? I said,
It,
what's
it,
the 5 layer burritos? You had to go. I had to go scrounge there in campus to look for a change on the floor to get a 5 layer.
Oh,
you,
I
you
mean,
learn.
let me answer this one question real quick.
Okay.
Jimmy, I guess Jimmy wants to ask about.
being
Uh,
homeless. Yeah, I saw that.
well, I'll already tell you, Jimmy. You can literally go look up that of a shelter and go out there and start applying for jobs. Literally, I kid y'all not. If y'all literally look on Indeed.com, there are so many jobs that are hiring right now.
If you get it, especially in a restaurant or something like that, because if you work in a restaurant, you'll get it like as a server or something. You'll get paid every day. You get a gym membership. I don't know if you have a car. Hopefully you do. And you just stack your money. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
So, yeah, you would have to. So that would probably be the best bet that you would have is, hey, if your family's telling you that they want you to get out, the best thing for you to do is most likely say, okay. I mean, say, okay, it is what it is, and be respectful and just say, I'm going to leave out. And, think it's time. I think they're pushing out the nest. Y'all gotta understand, people don't have to allow you to live with them respectfully. It is a choice. This is why it's always better to have your own. I've heard this plenty of times for men saying, telling their mom like, "This is my house. This is grandma's house. No, this is my house." Y'all sound like, and that's the Jody. That's the Jody and
Not
Baby
Joe.
Boy trope.
It's 10 o'clock, so it's past my curfew. So,
Yep, I know. So
well, you already got me on here late. So,
we thank you for that. We
all
thank you
right.
for that.
Bye. It was nice meeting you, Mr. Mississippi. All
So
right.
you guys,
It's
if y'all don't
missing
know,
you.
that is Jay, one of the original co-hosts of that of
Yeah, I don't know why my
BMT.
name doesn't pop up. It's weird because it pops up on one screen and not the other. But yeah.
Oh
Anyway,
no,
all
I don't
right.
know.
Bye.
So, so the thing about it when it comes down to it is, because literally, I thought you brought up a good turning point of the conversation on your channel, and so I said, I have to address it because it is actually a thing. It actually is a thing. Um, Going on for a lot of men, and definitely, yeah, I think this is why you can't sexually digitally check the women because the women are looking at it like, well, shit. I mean, Mama done allowed y'all to get away with it for so long. Why now y'all press? Like now that we're doing it, now that we got it going on. Hell, now the women are now these same daughters are now their mothers. Now their mothers now, and they're remembering that of the vitriol of being forsaken and thrown out to the wolves. So it is a lot of trauma curses being passed out. This is why you hear a lot of them being called, well, why he's such a little boy and X, Y, and Z. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So I don't know what else you got to say. What else? Anything else you want to add in this? And don't have a car. I don't know. It's a choice. I want to live on my own, but the cost for roof and car is expensive. Well, you got to go stay at a shelter, man. That's the best thing I'm gonna have to tell you. You're gonna have to go stay at a shelter. So that's probably be your best bet. All right. So back to the topic. Anything you want to say? Anything you want to say? Before we wrap it up, bro.
It's a deep. Thank you for having me on. Um,
Always, always,
it,
bro.
it's always a good topic when you're breaking down generational curses, breaking down the family structure, what you see. Like I said, living here in it, and then, but being, like I said, being outside of it at the same time is very interesting. because everybody know that little section with the older ladies and the older men that like they don't mess with in the hood. They just go around. That's why I
Mhm.
lived there because like I said, my mom had me at like 40. My mom had me at 40.
Mhm.
So I'm with the older group, and like most of my cousins probably about the age of 45. I'm the youngest. My brother's the second youngest. He's about to turn 40. So that tell you how big of the gap between me and the rest of my cousins is. My oldest
But,
cousin just turned 60. Shout out to her.
but you know okay. So, but here's the irony of this, right? The average family, they had the trajectory that a man and a woman is supposed to start a family like in their mid-30s. That's when they're supposed to start a family. Like that's when they like, so by the time you hit 50, your son will be like 20 or something like that. I find it interesting, like for blacks, we predominantly have our kids really fairly young, especially like throughout that of the 80s, the 70s, especially the goddamn 90s. Holy crap. Like there was a huge influx of teenage pregnancy, a huge influx. So it couldn't even be ignored. And a lot of these teenage pregnancies, their sons were their husband. They were their man, you know. So you was trying to say, baby, I'm gonna take you away, I'm gonna move in. And then the boy's like, no, that's my mama. You ain't taking them. Have you ever dealt with a woman that literally her son let you know that, hey, I'm the man of the house or something like that?
I haven't, but my best friend did.
I wish I could talk to him. I wish
It
I
is,
could talk to him.
that was a very interesting. I saw it too. You like I don't know what you in my mama house doing. I run this. This is my game. I like.
Wow.
I said, oh, he gonna talk to you like that? This gonna be wild because I know
So
your attitude.
I mean, how is he supposed to like me? I know like that happened with me. Now, and
I
this is
was
why.
with him. That's why I know that happened. I was actually went to the house with him to the apartment, and I
How
was
old
like,
the boy?
whoa. It was about 7, 8.
Okay, 7, 8. I had the boy. The boy was at least 11 or 12. And every time I would come there, he would hit me, like in my leg or in my chest. And I'm like, yo, dude, I'm about to kick this crap out of this kid. But this kid keeps on hitting me like I'm like a punching bag or something. And he's like, this is mine, this is mine. And I'm like, yo, dude. All of a sudden, I remember I came there with my PS Vita, and he tried to snatch it out of my hand. And his mom was like, don't hit my son. He just tried to snatch my PS Vita. And I'm like, you didn't see him just try to do that? Okay, but you a grown man. And I'm like, but then why did your child not understand I'm a grown man? Like he can get hurt, you know. Like, so it was very interesting because no matter what he did, his mama excused it. So I was like, you can't defeat that type of protection. You can't. Um, I used to watch my homegirls at work. They would complain about their nigga and their nigga and their mama relationships and stuff like that. And I'll be like, well, damn. Hey, why you deal with a nigga like that? Well, you know what I'm saying? He got some good attributes. If I could just get away from his mama. Get away from his mama. So it was a very interesting, it
It
was very
was.
interesting. Go ahead.
It, it was like I went in the house. I'm like, I know your attitude. This relationship is not gonna last long at all. He was setting down the ground rules when you came in. I was like, he already setting down the ground rules. By the way, people don't know that little black boys always want to test as far as they can get, see how far they can go.
Mm.
And a lot of people be like, no, they don't. They just being. I'm like, nah. I ain't that old. I remember when I was young, I test, see how far I can go, see how much authority I can assert at 7 years old. And sometimes you have to get checked, but hey, you ain't got that much authority. All right, I learned my lesson. I know what I'm at now.
It is a dangerous game. It is a dangerous game because um, I myself have done that with my mom's friends that she was talking to. I know I have done that, and my mom, she would sometimes say stay in the child play, but I think sometimes she just found it funny. She just found it funny watching me do that to her male friends. And like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was like, Now when I think about it, I said that was rude. That was very stupid of me. Like this is why we hear these horrific stories of these men, and that's another serious thing. You hear these horrific stories of these men that get into these situations with their mama, with the mama's boyfriend uh, or lover, and she don't want to let go either one of them. She don't want to let go of the man. She don't want to let go of her sons. You know what I'm saying? I've seen women who have threatened dudes that I'm gonna get my sons on you. So that was very interesting. Like I'm like, wait, so you gonna get your sons on them? I'm like, that man's gonna probably kill them. Those are teenagers, and but you're gonna send them against a full grown man.
BT, what you mean? Dion already told you them the wild ones. Them the ones he went on defense.
And see, listen, listen, bro. I thought we should have talked about that long time ago. Like that was so out of pocket for Dion to say that.
Hey, but hey, he acknowledged it, but people don't want to just say. He's like, hey, them the crazy ones. Them the one that wild out.
So listen,
They crash out, BMT. You
but
know them the
but
type that crash out. They don't care about living.
but you know what, Dion? If y'all weren't saying that was Deion Sanders in Ultra Coon Instinct, I don't know what to tell y'all because he literally was just making fun of black house. All I said was this: if a white coach had made that same comment,
Oh, he
that would have
better.
been that would have been the end of his career. That would have been the end of his career. You know damn well if a coach. Yeah, I'm going to do these things on to go find these
Nick
welfare.
Saban could have got away with it, but he in Alabama.
Okay, he could probably get away. Listen, when that's a whole different. He a whole different type of.
He ran the state. You know, he ran the state, so he's pretty sure he can say what he want.
He could. I cannot debate you on that one. I don't have no rebuttal for that.
Either one. I did think when you said like who could get away with it? Nick Saban 100% could say that and get away. Ain't nobody gonna say a word.
There are some people like the Sandra Blands of the community. The goddamn the like them Keanu Reeves. There are certain outsiders that are so in tune to black folks that we don't know how to like, you know what? Damn, that white guy said that. But damn it, he's such a good coach or she's such a good mentor. Shit. Like I can't refute what they're saying. So
Hey, the argument would be he get a lot of black kids in the NFL and he get a lot of
that's the thing about that. That's the thing that they'll say, like, well, it's not like his method don't work. And you'll be like, well, dude, it's doggone trauma harvesting. It's trauma harvesting. Like it's
and
not made to fix. It's not made to fix them.
it is trauma harvesting. But the people, you know, black people gonna excuse it. Why? Because if the result says my son make the NFL, you already had this argument. A guy said his son getting coached and he going to the NFL. My son going to the NFL because of.
Hey, you heard it, bro. You heard. Hey, according to me,
Hey, listen.
If
the end justify the means, we'll sell out and we pretend like we don't. We'll sell out in a minute. If we can get out of this hole that we in and don't have to deal with none of this, we'll make them sacrifices. That's one thing.
So long as y'all boys can run down that field and get a concussion, hey man, live your best life, man.
One day I'm gonna talk about the football. One day I'm gonna talk about the football coach. It's an amazing coach, by the way. It is. You are loyal to an end. I'm talking about them boys can be racist they want to be, but you'll beat them up, and then the coach will let you beat them up, and then y'all gonna be on the team because y'all teammates.
Again, I think nowadays, black boys are used to being used. They're used to being used. It's nothing abnormal. So they can't see themselves.
As long as you win, right, BMT?
But at this cost, bro. At this cost, it's like, listen, they're not saving anything. Oh, I'm glad my son can rap. I'm glad my son can do this and do that. Now you're looking at them; they're all jacked up and like messed up in the game, man. Like I'm sorry, but hell, you got to win now. This is why they're talking like, hey, I'd rather just go abroad. I'm going to just travel abroad. I'm just going to leave. Like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. And I don't. I'm not saying I'm for it. I'm not. This is not BMT saying that he's for that. But I'm also looking at it as the price of what's happening with these young men. Like y'all call them the corny, the weird. It's just a lot of trauma, man. It's just like a lot of trauma. I'm thankful that men like me, you have some type of semblance of balance, but it's not enough to as that of the chaos. It's just not enough.
Generational
That makes
curses, BMT. If I can get rich, it don't matter. You know what I mean? By the way, that's why I also was passionate about Ja Morant when people were like, well, he young. I'm like, y'all keep saying he young, but then he gets 35. Y'all will still say he young. And then BMT, I've literally seen it. I told you the story yesterday on my show. I said it on this show too before I had to get off. This guy, star running back on the team, Southern Miss, used to come on park wherever he want. I said it yesterday. Park on the grass area.
Yep.
The football team around him, the girls around him, everybody around him. He has this big crowd around him. He break all the rushing records at my college. You could probably look it up now since I said that. If y'all look through the show, y'all can put piece together. He break all the records. He go to the combine. He doesn't run good for weight. By the way, he a cool dude. I was hanging around him. He a very cool dude. He shouldn't have got dead like that. All of a sudden, next year, come to school, didn't quite get drafted. Came back to school, getting his master's like he should. Shout out to him for finally getting his master's. Come on campus. I don't know who you think this is. The same dude in charge, BMT. Same white dude. I don't know who you think you is. You can't park there. He got back in the car, drove to the parking lot, walked by himself, came out. Nobody speaking to him besides us. When I'm like, your life must be shattered right now. This time last year, you had a sea of people around you, coaches, women, football players, all the dudes want to take pictures, everything, fans, they let you do what you want. And then you come on the next year when you didn't make it and everybody treating you like you normal. And I was like that. So when people like, why the NFL player don't quit and they'll retire when they should, your life different. You know what I mean?
There's nothing told to them on what they were going to do after. What's going on? What's going on, Daniel? What's going on, bro? Like I said, shout out to my homie Daniel for always coming through and supporting, bro. I like I said, I enjoy the latchkey gang, the latchkey generation, guys who come through, the '90s kids, the late '80s kids, just pretty much us that literally, it is for what it is. It wasn't perfect, but that's why I said like the Bluefaces. I grew up with their mamas. So the way how she be talking.
Hello? 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 Hope everybody having a good day. Yeah, Daniel, man.
Sorry about that, y'all. I was on my phone. That's the thing about it. When you're on your phone, somebody call. I'm being lazy. I'm lazy BMT right now. Like I'm literally just playing Destiny and just talking with y'all while streaming. That's so y'all don't see me. I'm just streaming. But I'm trying to let y'all know that a lot of this stuff that you see going on from a lot of these women that why would they need a man when they got a son, a husband? Why get with somebody, you know what I'm saying, that hey,
Unconditional
like,
love, huh, BMT?
that's unconditional. Unconditional. Mama love is forever. Son's love is forever. Well, I mean, again, I grew up, man, like watching this. I watched this type of behavior. So, you know what I'm saying? The daughter.
I guess BMT is out. Hope everybody have a good day. Daniel Womack, I can't really click you. I see you. Pete Carroll, Urban Meyer. I'm about to go too, but Urban Meyer. Oh, I don't know if Urban Meyer could. Pete Carroll probably could. Pete Carroll probably could get away with it. I mean, he didn't get about a Marshawn Lynch. He can get away with anything. Didn't do that. He wasn't fired. That's crazy.
I mean, I'm just saying, man. Like a lot of these, I watch a lot of these boys who dedicated their livelihoods to sports and stuff, rather than, hey, man, like I think the sports stuff is getting pretty bad. Like they need to, you know, like I've seen parents, even as I got older, the boys had probably learned or learn how to read better, learn how to go to school. Who cares? As long as he graduate, you know what I'm saying? Like, but he's not like we had tests like he's not going to be able to really flourish in life. So as long as he stay close to mama's cleavage, he'll be okay. He'll be okay. And that was a lot of them, a lot of these types of boys who were.
BMT, I do have to go, but I do
I
want to end
gotta
like
go
that.
to.
I don't want people to think I hate team sports. Football is amazing. It teach you so much. It teach you how to adjust to society. It teach you how to interact with different groups of people. It teach you how to be a team player. It teach you how you're not the star. It can quell your ego. It does all those amazing things. I'm not trying to say don't play sport. The mindset behind playing the sports is the bad. A lot of people's bad thing. Like all the stuff it teaches you is amazing, but also the mindset from the parents and everybody else that you automatically going to be great. And this expectation of greatness is the bad thing about it, because it'll kind of whoop your mind. Then life hits you, and then I know a lot of brothers who quite didn't make it to the NFL, and they kind of struggle in life because their whole life since preschool in rookies, and they've been the man, and then all of a sudden they not after high school, after college, and then all of a sudden it's like my life ain't nowhere near the same because I don't get cheered every time I go somewhere. Every Friday, every Saturday, I'm cheered for my whole. For 20, 15 years of my life, 15, 20 years of my life, I'm cheered. That's the negative thing, because they don't teach you after. As BMT said, if you learn how to do other things, you learn how to do skills, you learn how to do this, you do good in school, you can get at your degree, you can use what you learn in football and network and do other things and use football to network. It could be absolutely amazing, but oftentimes we don't look at that process. We look at the ultimate benefit, like forget all the negative that we put into you, putting all this expectation on you. It just become negative.
Right. And like I said, like again, I'm about to cut it down. Um, my niece's boyfriend, he his only prerogative function that his family had for him was just to play football. But I noticed that whenever what's going on, Tony Anthem? Shout out to you, Tony Anthem, to your channel, bro. I noticed that what's going on, Juju? Shout out to you, Juju. I noticed that as I watch him throughout the Thanksgiving holiday, uh, I watched him throughout the Thanksgiving holiday try to function. He would get headaches. Zell. And I was like, "You got concussions, bro." And he was like, "No, no, I'm okay." I said, "What's your backup plan past this?" His family never tried to see him pass the ball, pass something else. And then so I'm like, "Listen, that's not your job to take care of your daddy, your mama, and all of them. I mean, it's nice to help them. It is. It's a blessing. But you can only go but so far." And that's something that even I had to understand when I was in the military. Mom, I told my mom, I said, "Mommy, I love you, but you got to go find your man. I'm not your man." And my mom was like, "You my son, but I'm not your man." So understand this, ladies and gentlemen, that you have there's a lot of Blueface mamas out there. There's a lot of Mama D's out there. There's a lot of these women like Mama D's. Waka Flocka's mom wasn't as bad. Like a lot of these women back in the day, they were rough. A lot of these 90s and 80s mamas, they were rough. They were. they were on 10 with their children. They were on 10 with their children, like especially their boys. Like they raised their boys, like the erratic behavior that they how they raised their sons was pretty. It was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. So I'm just saying that we got ways to go. But I'm BMT. I want to thank y'all. Shout out to Juju. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to Zell. Thank you for coming through. Shout out to who else we had in there? Shout out to James. Shout out to my homie Daniel. Shout out to Jimmy. Shout out to Gene. Shout out to Super Mike. Always. It's always a blessing having you guys. I got to one day do a conversation that, hey, um, did the 90s mama teach their daughters to fail? I got to ask that question one day. Like, did they, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, like, did they teach their daughters, like, at what cost was it to sell out your child, your daughter for a man? You know what I'm saying? A lot of these girls, their mamas kicked them out, put them on the curb, but they thought they were too fast. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dads, if you ain't gonna do what I tell you to do, you gonna get out my house. So you put the girl out in the house. Guess what? She's staying with a nigga. So then when she's staying with that nigga, can you get mad that hey, okay, so she out there? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, listen, man, kids are gonna make mistakes. They're stupid. But putting your kid out there in the streets like that, that's a whole different type of beast. And that's the thing about it that we got to ask the question. So for a lot of these mamas that are now the way they are, listen, you can't try to tell them, well, why don't you want to be submissive? Nigga, listen, my household put me out on the street. Ain't no love out here. Like, there's a reason why they're rough and tough. Now, the boys who ran the streets, you know what I'm saying, that did happen. You know, we're not gonna ignore that. We're not gonna ignore that. That did happen. However, I will say this that, and like I said, I gotta go. I'm gonna try to get in touch with Tony. I'm gonna try to get in touch with a lot of the guys from the '90s or who grew up. Uh, I gotta go get in touch with a lot of brothers from the '90s, bro. Um, like we saw a lot of our sister counterparts get they either became the mama, the sidekick mama, or they got put out there in the streets. A lot of the boys where either you was an asset or you had to go. All right, bro. You too. So I'm gonna see y'all guys later. This is BMT. Peace.